All right. Well, everybody is getting logged in. Um I wanted to just give a shout out to all of our agents who had a really great month of June, now heading into July. It's definitely still a constricted market. Not It's definitely not the market we've seen from 2 years ago. And last year was also not the greatest market. But I wanted to share with you just some thoughts because I talk to real estate agents every day. And I'm so excited when I get to talk to an agent who thinks the market is great and everything is busy for them. But in case you're an agent that's struggling in this market, I want you to know I talk to those agents too. And what I always say is that there is a gift inside the grind that you are feeling right now. It is definitely still a constricted market. We're seeing across all of our markets sellers who want to price their homes at last year's peak price or the peak price from 2 years ago. And then those sellers get frustrated when you suggest a price reduction, even when the data clearly supports it. We see buyers that are staring down higher interest rates and feeling the true weight of affordability. And there's uncertainty in the world in general, which is causing some people to just hit the pause button. I talk to a lot of agents who get frustrated that they're working these clients, finally put a deal under agreement, and then there's cold feet, and the buyers decide not to do anything right now because they're unsure. But the this is a season of a massive amount of opportunity for those of you who choose to see the opportunity. So, when the world gets noisy, when things get harder, it's important for us to remain being the calm inside the chaos for our customers. So, I'm going to suggest a few ways to just think differently as you're approaching the constricted market. So, first, every tough conversation that you have, such as a seller that doesn't want to price their home properly, this is where you shine. This is where you build authority as a true real estate professional. When you stand firm on pricing, you're not losing a listing, you're gaining trust as a true professional. Number two, interest rates are a hurdle right now, but they are also a filter. You're working with the most serious of buyers if they're out shopping in a market where they're not super concerned about the interest rates. So maybe you're experiencing fewer showings, but they are more meaningful ones. Next, people may be waiting, but they're also watching. So that means that you have to stay visible. You want to be the agent that people remember in the marketplace. So it feels like you want to just go hide sometimes because the market's a little bit different than what you're used to. But this is when you have to double down and be present and be out there and talking to people. This is the season to plant. It is not just the season to harvest. So that means when you don't have showings, you should be nurturing your database, creating connections that pay off long after the market rebounds, and it always does. Get hyper local and high value. Know the data for your town. Know what's happening in the town, the updates, know what's really going on. Your market knowledge is your superpower. Next, repetition builds reputation. Keep showing up, both online and real life. Consistency wins in a very inconsistent world. Next, when sellers resist, stay rooted in reality, not emotion. Be empathetic, but be firm. The market does not respond to wishes, it responds to a strategy. Next, you're not just in real estate, you're in relationships. Now more than ever, trust is the currency on which your business is built. So spend your time wisely and generously. Next, uncertainty creates space. So while others wait, while others real estate agents decide this business is just not for them, you're out there educating and using the space that is created to build your future business. And always remember that the market isn't a problem, it is just preparation. You're not stuck, you are being sharpened. Every challenge that you face is refining you for the next level of your business. So don't resist the grind. If it feels like a grind for you right now, let it stretch you, let it grow you, and let it make you unforgettable. This market will shift again because it always does. And when it does, those agents who use this time to elevate, not to escape, will be the ones who rise. And I know that you guys will be those agents. So those are the conversations I'm having every day. You're not the only one if you're experiencing it. There's so much opportunity in a market like we're experiencing right now. So with that, let's take a look at what our numbers look like. As always, remember, knowledge is only potential. Knowledge is not power, execution is. So it's important to have your pen and paper out, take some notes today, because we have jam-packed a lot of information into a short 60-minute presentation. First, I want to welcome our newest agents since our last meeting. I want to welcome Adriana Elfstrom, Jennifer Reel, and Donna Stanley, our new host in Wallingford. Next up, let's look at our June numbers. First off, June was not so bad actually, as compared to some of the other months. In fact, I think our spring market kind of sprung in June this year. We had 242 closings plus 48 rentals, and that equated to $146 million in volume. So there's business being done out there. I don't want you to feel discouraged if you didn't have a deal this month. It's opportunity to sharpen your skills for next month. Here's a breakdown on those numbers: Massachusetts, Maine, Connecticut, New Hampshire, and Florida. One of the things that we're going to start doing monthly, this is a request that came in from Johnny Fallon of our West Yarmouth office, is he said, can we start rating all of the offices monthly so we can see where we fall? So we're going to start this with just top 10 offices so you can see like which offices are staying super busy. So our number one office for the month of June was Dracut, followed by our Chelmsford, Mass, then Tingsboro, Mass, Burlington, Westford, Wellington, Florida. We had a nice $4 million closing in Wellington this month. Melrose, Wellesley, Leominster, then Tewksbury. We might change how we report this on a monthly basis, but for now, these are our top 10 offices for June. Then let's take a look at our top 5 agents or teams. Our top 5 teams by volume for Massachusetts are Page & Company, O'Connell & Company, Button & Company, Kennard Residential Group, and Sullivan Realty Group. Top 5 agents. So this is individual agents by volume for Massachusetts. Congratulations to Sarah McCoy, Marissa Tebow, Elena Marchus, Paul Brulette, and Ann Chatfield. Top 5 teams by unit sold. Massachusetts. Page & Company, O'Connell & Company, Button & Company, Kennard Residential, and Sullivan Realty Group. Top 5 individual agents by unit sold. Number 1, Marissa Tebow, Sarah McCoy, Elena Marchus, Paul Brulette, Catherine Meisenheimer. Top 5 for Connecticut. This is for both volume and units. And this is only if they closed under LAER, because I know we still have some closings happening under Harriman Real Estate. So top 5 for both volume and units sold, the numbers happen to align, is, hold on, I can't, there we go. The Craig and Claudia team, followed by Brooke Ruiz, Peter Onofrio, David Blythe, new agent, congratulations, David, and Pat Harriman. Top 5 for Maine. Again, this is both by volume and by units. The numbers happen to line up perfectly. So this is for both volume and units for Maine. Julian Harwood, Chris Valley, John Edmiston, Sarah Cotnoir, and Marianne McMaster. Top 4 for New Hampshire. This is also by units and volume. Sarah Tollefson, the Platinum Realty Group, the Newman Group, and the Fulford Group. And then our top 10, Florida by volume. Number 1, Liz Stewart, $4 million closing, and I think it was Boca Raton. Ella, followed by Ella Field, Jana Zaidspinner, Isabel Quesada, Anita Fowler, Giswaldo team, Mila Snyder, Jennifer Zapata, Tanya McClendon, and Roberto Ferrer. And then our top 10 Florida agents and teams by unit sold. Congratulations to Ella, Ashley Olette, Roberto Ferrer, Liz Stewart, Janice Zaidspinner, Isabel Quesada, Anita Fowler, Giswaldo team, Mila Snyder, and Jennifer Zapata. And then, as always, our team puts together a top 25 overall company-wide list, both by volume and by units. All of these numbers that I just shared with you, including the top 25, those will go out by email to the entire company, so that if you're on one of these lists, you want to make sure our team puts together these nice pieces that can be shared on social media. So make sure to click on it, see if you're on one of those lists, and share it with the world. Let's take a look at where we are from last year at this time. Our volume is up slightly. So 2024 to 2025, we're up a little bit in volume. Last year at this time, we had closed 613 million in volume. And today we sit, this is as of end of June, 630 million in closings at 1,191 sides, really close to where we were on sides as well this time last year. We do have to keep in mind that we continue to grow in agent count. One of the metrics we're going to start including on here is agent count, so that you get a true idea of trajectory when you can see these numbers as they pertain to year-over-year agent count. But we're not there yet because we don't have the numbers from last year yet. But that's a statistic that we're working on. So year over year, keeping pretty steady in our production. Okay, so first, let me share with you one of the pieces I wanted to share before I go into some company updates is a quick presentation for you guys on digital domination. So this all came about because I was talking to Betsy in our Connecticut office, and she was saying that one of the ways that she's been building her business is with a local Facebook group. Like, she created a neighborhood Facebook group, and it's a topic that we haven't really covered lately, but what a wonderful way to build a community, build your followers through a Facebook group that you get to speak to regularly. By the way, one of the ones that I'll show you in here is the Andover Moms group. which I'm a member of on Facebook, and I have been for many years. That's actually owned by a LAER agent, and it has over 10,000 members in the Andover Moms Facebook group. So it's pretty powerful what you can do if you build a group. So this is just a really short presentation about digital domination, building a powerful Facebook community that grows your real estate brand. So, why do Facebook groups still work? They're an opportunity to build trust, engagement, and community, especially local. So, just taking these little hyper local areas and building a group that you can speak to all the time. As I mentioned, the Andover Mums group is a group that I've been a member of for I don't even know how long. It's been around for a really long time. Again, it's owned by a LAER agent. And check this out. It's got like 9,900 members. I mean, that's amazing. Um, to think about a Facebook group, first of all, it's free. You can just go start one today. It is like a modern day farm area. If you're like me and you've been in the business for 20 years, 20 years ago when we got into business, they told us like pick a farm area and mail to it all the time. So pick a neighborhood and constantly mail to that neighborhood. This is that version of that in today's times. Like you can build your farm right through a Facebook community, but you have even greater reach because number one, it's free and you get to talk to them every day through the group. So, what are the different types? By the way, it can be literally anything. If you're into classic cars, then create a classic car group for your area, whatever you're in. But neighborhood group, for example, you could have Life on Lexington Lane or a town group, what's happening in Milford, property or condo groups. So if you're a member of a condo association, why don't you build a little group of people? Maybe it's a pickleball group on that you talk to all the time, a mom's group, a small business group. Think about something that you're passionate about because we said a few minutes ago, consistency is key. You want to make sure that it's something that you will continue to do even when you're bored of doing it, which will happen. You want it to be interesting enough that you want to keep posting to it. So you got to know what the why of the group is. So if it's a neighborhood group, maybe you're posting events like local fireworks, if there's town days, town meetings, maybe if it's a town group, you're also sharing referrals, the best places for pizza, sharing local chatter about what's happening in the town, or helping neighbors like lost pets. All of these are on that Andover Moms group that I'm a part of. Some of the keys to success. Number one, you'll be more successful if you're hyper local, like a very small area, because there's not a lot of people that are focusing on the hyper local. And if you're helpful, consistent, non salesy, you don't want it to be a place that people are constantly being sold. And one of the big keys to success is making sure that it's community first, that you're always thinking about what's best for the community first. There's public Facebook groups. So this is stuff that you should do a little bit of research on, like how do you want your Facebook group to show up? A public Facebook group means that it's anybody can find it, but also all the posts are visible to everyone, even if they're not in the Facebook group. Not a huge fan of that personally, because then I prefer a private Facebook group. A private Facebook group is still a group that can be found through a search on Facebook. So the group can be found. It's just nobody can see anything in that group unless they request to join. And so these often are the best for a group that is managed by a real estate professional. That moms group that I'm part of, that is a private Facebook group. So Only people in the group can actually see the posts. There are some agents that also like to have hidden Facebook groups. Why would you do a hidden Facebook group? I think these are more for agents that specifically have Facebook groups around their clients. So, if the purpose of your Facebook group is only to invite all of your past clients so that they can all talk and you can share client appreciation events and stuff like that, stuff that is only available for your clients, then why not just do a hidden Facebook group so you don't have other real estate people, for example, trying to get into your group? It's just a link that you have that you invite certain people to, and that would be your client group. I think best for real estate agents is a private Facebook group. It gives you control, you can protect the vibe of the group, and it encourages authentic, safe conversations because not everybody can see the conversations, only the people who are um, part of the group. The other thing is with a private group, you can choose not to have other agents in the group. By the way, you don't have to do that. That mom's group I'm part of is owned by a LAER agent, and there's other real estate agents within that group. So you don't have to make it just you as the only real estate agent, but you could if it's a private group. Make sure you have a great description to tell people why they should join. So this is the description for the Andover one that I'm part of. Um, so this one says this group is for members of Andover and North Andover to share positive firsthand experiences of recommendations and referrals. And then it goes into um, the importance of completing a full request in order to get in. Anytime you create a group, you should have rules so that you have harmony within the group. So, for example, obviously, no hate speech. I would say no politics. And whatever your rules are, you can pin them to the top. Probably over time, your rules will grow. When I joined the Andover Moms Facebook group, there were like 5 rules. I looked today just to see what their rules look like, and it's like 6 pages of rules. So I would imagine as you're managing your group for a long time, you're going to have instances where you're like, I don't want to see that again in the future. So you just keep adding to this document. So they have 6 pages of rules, um, like um, that they have for being part of the group. And if you don't respect the rules, you get kicked out of the group. Once you have created your group, you can go invite members. So past clients, local vendors, friends, and you can, as you're out networking with people, ask people if they want to be part of the group. And then create a nice welcome post, a short intro pinned to the top. This sets the tone and reiterates the value of the group. And then if you don't have a group and you're going to go start one, I would recommend having 30 days of content ready to go. So you don't want it to interrupt your business. Have 30 days of content ready to go, local tips, polls, spotlights of vendors, things like that. Remember that it should be 80% community and maybe 10 or 20% you. So you don't want it to be like you every day posting about real estate stuff. That should be super minimal, or you're not going to grow a successful group. It should be truly about the community and sharing with vendors, things like that. What are some of the post ideas you could do? Local events, restaurant reviews, small business shout outs, lost and found pets, weather alerts, school updates. You could do this or that polls, photo contests, hometown trivia, things like that. You can post daily, but don't overwhelm people. So don't post like 10 times a day. Maybe post once a day or every other day. And then more importantly, just be present for the comments so that you can get in there and comment when somebody makes a comment that you're responding to it. Next, you want to be the connector. You want to tag local vendors, celebrate member wins, introduce people. And then have a section at the top where you pin your featured resources. So if it's a homeowners association, maybe there's some homeowner resources. If it's a town Facebook group, just pin some town information. Maybe you have a recommended vendor list, which we talk about in the Algorwin program, that can be pinned at the top. And then invite local businesses to engage. Maybe pick one day a week. I think Betsy said she has one day a week that she allows people to promote their business. So maybe you could have like a business spotlight Friday where people can go in and promote what they do for business. One of the pieces I would highly recommend if you're just starting your Facebook group is when you set it up, you can have it so that anybody that wants to join the group is asked membership questions. One of the questions, in my opinion, should be what's your best email address so we can send you a free local guide or updates or something. So offer some item of value, but you want those email addresses because the email is where you can put them into your database and send them. If you put them in Fellow, they're going to get the twice every other week emails. So that's where you can solicit business. You don't want to constantly be soliciting business on the Facebook group. But the membership question, you can make it so that they're asked to provide their best email and you're the one approving the members. So you can decline requests if someone just leaves the question blank. So remember, as you're building and promoting your Facebook group, that you're kind of like the mayor of the group. So you don't want to be seen as somebody spamming people with sales information. Just be the mayor, the trusted resource, and people will begin to trust you as their trusted resource in real estate as well. Another cool thing you can do with your Facebook group is create mini events, mini coffee meetups or park days, or bring tell people that we're going to meet in the park once a week for a walk, a dog walk. It could be anything, but create mini events so that you're getting belly to belly with people so that you begin to turn these into true relationships. And then one of the cool things you can do with your Facebook group is use the polling feature where you can ask your members what they wish for more of. What is it that they would like to see more of within the group? And then you can provide it. And of course, you can post occasional real estate content. You just don't want to be doing it constantly to the point people are like, all right, I signed up for this because I thought it was going to be community related, but I'm constantly getting real estate listings. Instead, try to think of yourself as the mayor. Instead of posting like real estate listings or how great you are in real estate, just post what's happening in the market, like how many houses are on the market, like information people would be interested in no matter what, even if they're not interested in buying or selling right now. Biggest mistakes you could make with your Facebook group is just being too salesy or being super inconsistent. So don't do this if you're not going to follow through for the long haul. This is something that will take definitely not a ton of work, but you must be consistent in your posting. You want to always be responding to comments, and don't let the group just go silent. Don't let it just build itself. You have to be an active participator in it. So go start today. Commit to 30 days. Focus on connection over conversion and see where it takes you. All right, so that is our short presentation on digital domination and building your Facebook community. Let's talk about some company updates. Whoops. Okay, we'll let you start, Farah.
Sounds good. Hi, everyone. I am Farah, the Florida Regional Director of Agent Services. You know me well. And we've introduced something very, very cool to Lions Den Facebook group, as well as the Florida Facebook group. It's called This Week at LAER, and it comes out every Monday morning at 7 a.m. on the dot. And basically, it's just a 30-second overview video of the coming week. We recognize that at the beginning of the month, we give you a lot of information about what's coming and all of the training. However, we all need weekly reminders of what's happening and what's going on. So, like I said, 30-second overview of the week ahead. It's released every Monday morning at 7 a.m. It is literally only 30 seconds, I swear to you. It covers upcoming classes, trainings, and presentations, and of course, any office closures for that week.
One of the things I wanted to let you guys know is that this is like the third time we've announced this, but this month is the month that we are officially taking people off of our website if we don't have a professional photo. Not because we want to be mean, we just feel like it looks really nice. So we made a huge change in the brokerage in the last 2 months, in that we finally moved from full body photos to headshots. One of the reasons why many agents didn't provide us photos is because they didn't like that for more than 5 years. We had a policy that it was full body photos on our website. So in May, we made the decision that we were going to go to headshots only. And so that's easy. Everybody can do a headshot. We want our website to look really beautiful and consistent. So if you haven't been to our website recently, make sure to go check it out, because if we had a full body photo of you, we turned it into a headshot for you. But if you have a headshot that you prefer we use, you can send that into Happy Agent and we'll update it. For many years, we had agents that wanted us to put their headshot on and we couldn't, because we wanted consistency. Now you can have your headshot, but if you provide no photo, we're going to take you off the website. As a reminder, we've been doing our Quantum Sparks classes. So every Monday we do just a 20-minute micro class for you guys on different ways to build a great life and a great business. I think one of the areas that the real estate world does poorly at is, I think there's too many classes out there on the mechanics of how to sell real estate and not enough on like how to use your mind to tap into infinite potential to create the life you want. And that's what these classes do. And then, Farah, you had a great class yesterday and you said you learned a few things. Tell us what.
I loved it. So for those of you who missed it, and it kind of came up really quickly that it got put on the calendar for July. So I'm sure there's people that would have loved to join it and miss it, but never worry. Of course, it is on the YouTube channel. We did the LAER Elite Edge overview class yesterday. Many of you, most of you, all of you, hopefully at this point have received a link to download your own app for LAER Elite Edge. And it's a fantastic, fantastic product. We learned some really, really great things. And one thing that I learned that I shared with Stacy is, although the app is amazing, definitely watch the replay on YouTube. Thank you for adding that in, Sergio or Stacy. But also, make sure you have access to this on your desktop. The marketing portion of the LAER Elite Edge app is only accessible on desktop just because of the sheer amount of content that it contains. So definitely still make sure you have access to it on your desktop. And of course, we would like you to download the app as well. And then next, just so you guys know, Stacy has really had this great initiative of like inviting vendors that have really great products to do demos and presentations for us. And July is no exception. It's chock full of demos and presentations Tomorrow, we are actually going to be having RSP USA. They're going to do a demo and presentation. For those of you who don't know, RSP is specializing in demographical data about different neighborhoods, really, really helping you hone in on the areas and people that you want to focus on. And then, of course, we have showing time advanced techniques. We all have showing time for the most part. I know here in the state of Florida, it is something that is offered to you free through your MLS and board membership. But this is going to be a great, great opportunity to learn about some advanced techniques that you can do with your showing time membership. So that's going to be a great class. Don't miss it. Thursday, July 24th, 12:30 to 1:30.
By the way, one of the reasons we're doing this showing time class is because the market is shifting and we're seeing price reductions galore. One of the best reports for a price reduction you can get right on showing time. They have amazing reports that show what is happening on the market. So you definitely don't want to miss that one.
And then, of course, we continue our journey with the main event. I gotta tell you guys, sometimes we don't have the greatest attendance with these, and these are like a hidden gem. Every single time we do this class, we do this presentation at the end of the month, last Wednesday of the month, always, I learned something new. LAER agents are fabulous, amazing people. We are a very tenured company when it comes to our agents, and they have so much to share. And even if you've been an agent for 20 plus years, you never know what someone else's perspective will impart on the way you see things. So definitely join us for that. And of course, a look ahead at August, and I'm going to make some mentions about September as well. August is, of course, regrettably, for some of you, not so regrettably, our last month in summer. However, it also kind of signifies the beginning of the fall season, which we all love. We will be doing Compliance 101 here in Florida. We want to make sure you always get paid as quickly as possible. We want that for you. So we're doing a compliance class. It's going to make sure you know what to do so there are no hiccups. And the bonbon demo that we had for June had to get rescheduled. We will be having it in August. That's going to be a great one as well. And September, keep your eyes peeled. We have some really, 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 really cool things coming down the pike for September. And that's it.
All right. Maybe you could tell us, Farah. I don't think we got, is Alma on here? Let's see.
Alma is on here.
I couldn't
Alma
see
is
her.
here.
I see you, Alma. Welcome. You came today to tell us about an exciting backpack drive. Tell us more.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So we partner with Children's Home Society of
Really
Florida.
quickly, sorry. I think it's next, it's 2 slides down.
Oh,
Yep, there he goes. So yes, we partner with the Children's Home Society, and we are doing the back to school drive. Started July. It went out on July 7th. We're going to be collecting here at our office, as well as the LAER Wellington and LAER Port St. Lucie office. We're collecting, and there's a slide that shows the list of items that we're collecting. So if you cannot bring it in directly to our office, bring it to these offices, and we will make sure that it gets delivered to the agency. This will help a lot of children that don't have, the parents don't have the ways to provide these things. So we give back to the community, and the community gives back to us.
I love it. All right. Good job, Alma. By the way, Craig, do we have any updates on the sustainability front?
Yeah, I can give you a couple of quick updates. So my name is Craig Foley. I'm the Chief Sustainability Officer for the company. Get a lot of calls, you know, Stacy, about folks with solar panels in a residential real estate transaction, whether they're representing the buyer or the seller. So I handle a lot of those calls. They come in on a weekly basis. But I wanted to give you an update of what happened at the Realtor legislative meetings and kind of connect that to something we're seeing on Zillow, and I know Massachusetts agents have already been asked about, and I wouldn't be surprised, Farah, if you're getting these same kind of questions down in Florida. But the hot topic down at the Realtor legislative meetings was the insurance crisis that's happening throughout the United States, right? The insurance committee meeting is usually one of the most boring committee meetings on the face of the earth, Stacy. I can guarantee you that. But it was loaded. It was packed to the gills because homeowners insurance rates are rising through the roof in certain states. And I think it's going to be coming to all states. I mean, I'm certainly hearing this from our Cape agents as well. So that was a hot topic down in our legislative meetings. But I do want to share, Stacy, a screen. This is for an active listing that you might see on Zillow, right? So we all know that these are out there. Here's a home in Melrose. I just want to highlight one particular piece as you scroll down here that's related to the homeowner insurance costs. And it's this screen, this is on all active listings on Zillow now, called Climate Risks. And it's produced by First Street Foundation. And they're using predictive analytics to look 15 and 30 years forward at what a particular climate risk might be on a very specific property location. It's down to the property level of this. So I have already heard from Massachusetts agents that they I mean, imagine this, Stacy, right? You're at an open house, you're hosting a busy open house. You've got some people down in the kitchen that you're chatting with. Someone comes downstairs and they've got their app open on their phone and they're looking at this and they say, hey, Mr. Listing Agent, what does this mean? Wind factor, major. Heat factor, major. What does that mean? How are you going to answer that question, right? Well, I do want to share. I want to switch to this and just make sure. Are you seeing the LAER agent
Yes.
services? Yeah. So in the sustainability toolkit, as you know, Stacy, we've got a script for this. So right here, a script for realtors on climate risk is available. And I'll just go through that risk. So Stacy, if you ask me that question, what does this major flood factor mean? I would answer it something like this. That's a great question, Stacy. Thank you so much for asking it. I think it's a really important thing that buyers need to be thinking about as we move forward with the most important purchase that you're making in your lifetime. That particular model that Zillow uses, it uses predictive analytics. So we don't really know what that means, but I'd be happy to share with you, Stacy, if you give me your email address, a climate vulnerability assessment that the city of Melrose has done, and a climate action plan. So it's much more specific, and it actually has a plan, Stacy, for what we're going to do. And I would encourage you, Stacy, as a buyer, to look at that as your own due diligence, you know? And by the way, this is something that I really think a lot about. I care a lot about. I want to make sure my buyers are going to are ending up in the right home for them. So if you're not represented by a buyer, Stacy, I'd love to talk to you about that as well separately. But definitely give me your email address and I'll forward you that information that the city of Melrose has put together that has analyzed the climate risk for our city and what we're doing about it. So that is in that script. That's essentially the way we handle that question. And I just want to let our agents know that you can anticipate that this is going to be coming. I would look at your active listings right now on Zillow, see what that climate risk says about them, maybe even download the documentation so that you have resources there as well. But definitely Google climate vulnerability assessment for Miami, Florida, or Tampa Bay, Florida, or Melrose, Massachusetts, and climate action plan as well, and put that onto your to-do list just so you have those available, and certainly take a look at that script as well. So hot topic, Stacy, we're seeing more and more about in the sustainability space, and I just wanted to share that with everyone.
I think that's amazing. By the way, I swear there's rarely a week that doesn't go by where we have an agent that reaches out. I had two in the last 7 days that said, Craig rescued a transaction for me. What could I do for Craig? I always say, take the green designation. When I look at the sustainability page at LAER Agent Services, when I consider the getting the green designation, I see those as such massive opportunities to really stand out as a real estate agent. When you go to social media and you look at what many real estate agents post about real estate, mostly they're posting about themselves. They are not actually posting information that you would look at and say that person is a true expert in what they do. Instead, what you do see is agents talking about how many listing appointments they have. And I'm not begrudging anybody that does that. I think that that's great too. But what if, I mean, just that page that Craig just shared, there's probably 30 at least videos that you could do that would truly differentiate yourself from all the noise. You will just start to sound different than everybody else, and it turns heads when you are not doing what everybody else is doing, and instead you're providing real content and real information. I am living proof of it because people told me when I started my Mindful Monday articles, which some of you read, when I first started that, everybody told me like nobody reads anymore. Nobody's going to read that because nobody reads anymore. And I didn't listen to it. I just knew it was content. It was really good content. And now, I don't know, I'm in the 247th version or article of the Mindful Monday. There's now over 100,000 subscribers to the Mindful Monday. And why? Because it's real. It's good information. It is not the noise that everybody else is doing. And so people stop for a second and they say, I'm going to check this out. But you can do the same exact thing in real estate. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. You can, there is no better, I honestly don't believe that in the next 10 years, there's going to be a better opportunity than right this second to truly stand out as a professional. And the green designation is just one way to do that. But seriously, like go dig into the content and start sharing it. Start your Facebook group. Here's all the good information we just said about having a Facebook group. Well, you've got like all this content already just in the sustainability section that makes you sound different than all the other noise out there. I think this is your last opportunity, especially on the green front, because this stuff is becoming law. Like a lot of this is happening that you're going to have no choice but to talk about what's happening on insurance. And you're going to have no choice but to talk about what Zillow is putting for climate risk on their page. So this is this tiny little window you have to truly stand out as a professional. Go get the green designation. Really amazing class. And in general, when everybody else is zigging, just zag. Go become the professional in real estate. With that, I can't believe we're getting off 5 minutes early or 7 minutes early. It's amazing, first of all, when you start on time. I think we were still 1 minute late. But I want to say congratulations to everybody conquering the market. And even if it doesn't result in transactions right now, the hard work you're doing, I promise you, will pay off. So keep being consistent, keep taking classes, go get designations, and let's show the world what you're made of. Thanks, everyone. Have a great summer.